Hey, how are you doing?
Good, Nicola. How are you?
I'm really great and so delighted that you're with us for the next in the series of QCT in Conversation.
Was there a good reception after the last conversation that we had?
The reception was really positive. Young people really appreciated that we had the conversation because the matters that we discussed really matter to them.
Mike sent us a really sweet letter as well, and we love that conversation.
An organization with friends called Agents of Change, which is now training young people as ethical young radio reporters. Together with the Children's Radio Foundation of South Africa, we are now working across 10 African countries, inspiring 1,200 young people, giving them skills to report honestly and truthfully, and creating this ripple effect of change. So that has been an incredible journey.
She's always believed in the power of the Commonwealth and young people as a force for good.
You've summarized it beautifully, Nicola. I think everything that my grandmother wanted to achieve when she took this huge responsibility on, she's managed. No one could have predicted how the world was going to change in such a short space of time, especially with the digital space. But hearing you guys, knowing the broad spectrum that the QCT sort of engulfs, you guys are the definition of the 21st century Commonwealth and what it means to be part of it.
You know, from my standpoint, being newer to the world of the Commonwealth, right? I lived in Canada for several years, but it wasn't until joining the family and that I was able to meet so many young people throughout the Commonwealth. If they came with a question, they always offered a solution. Yeah. And that's what I think is so inspiring, and why I'm incredibly proud to be able to work with the Queen's Commonwealth Trust, but why it's the continuation of the legacy of your grandmother.
The solutions is the most important thing. I learned in the army, don't come to the table with a problem unless you've got a solution. And I think this platform that you guys have created is so, it's just optimistic, right? It's so positive, and that's exactly what you guys need, because there is a lot of negativity out there. There's a lot of noise. The experts have described it as an attention economy, which is basically just a shouting match, and it's sort of benefiting the wrong people. But with social media and the way that it can help so many individuals and groups be able to improve, be able to connect, and be able to focus on the things that really matter and the things that bind us rather than the things that divide us.
Yeah. No, that's really powerful. So that's exactly what this is all about.
I think, Rose, you hit such a good point. I would love to know what your technique is for. Bear in mind, there is a lot of division, there's a lot of hate, but the people that are probably saying, "Oh, this is lofty," are the people that benefit from the way that it is now, because their voices, because they're able to project probably a lot of their own pain across these platforms onto other people. But what are the techniques? How can you acknowledge or shut down hate in an instant without sharing it or without fueling it?
For us, it's all about, in that moment, equipping young people with really credible and social tools that they can use. So first of all, of course, knowing how to report something or block is really important. But what about ways in which you can mobilize the power of peer pressure in a positive way to shut down hate, to use that power of the group? So whether it's choosing not to keep scrolling and writing the words.
That's where the desire is, right? You've got so many people probably not on the fringes, but in the sort of the negative parts of social media. And then when they find something like your platform, it's like, this is the escape that I've been looking for. Yeah. This is the positivity. This is the community.
And I think that's what's so key too, is as we talk about positivity and optimism and what a healthy online community looks like, it's not an echo chamber. It's not about everyone being in agreement all the time, but being able to have a healthy discourse, being able to disagree. That is so key. It's not trying to build utopia. It's trying to build a healthy community so that people feel safe, heard, and perhaps walk away with a different perspective that they hadn't encountered or experienced or thought at the onset, but that they have that interaction. That's what's so important. That's what this life is all about, right? Learning every day. But if you don't feel that you're in a place that's safe enough to express those thoughts and to be heard and supported in a way that is actually beneficial for us as a community, then where does that leave us? So what you're creating is, I think, in many ways, part of the antidote that we often talk about. This isn't for lack of desire that it's not out there. This is for lack of it being built. And so you guys out there doing the work and building what people really need is really everything.
Yeah, I think just...
Well, hello and welcome back. Glad you've tuned in. I hope your day is going great. And I'm here with another update. So the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, they joined a group of young leaders from the Queen's Commonwealth Trust to discuss social media and the role of the online world as a force for good. The Duke of Sussex commented during the discussion, "No one could have predicted just how the world was going to change in such a short space of time, especially with the digital space. But hearing you guys and knowing the broad spectrum that QCT engulfs, you are the definition of the 21st century Commonwealth and what it means to be a part of it." So I will link the full conversation in the pinned comment. Please go and check it out. It was such an insightful discussion that they had, and I love how Duchess Meghan spoke about the fact that she is so proud to be a part of the Queen's Commonwealth Trust and meeting with young leaders from all around the Commonwealth. And she said something that stood out to me, that she loves the fact that whenever she spoke to the young people, whatever problem they presented, they also seemed to have a solution in tow. And Prince Harry also said that there was an important lesson that he learned in the army, that do not come with a problem unless you have a solution. So it's great to see them continuing on in the legacy of the Queen. And of course, the Sussexes are so proud to continue on in that legacy. So be sure once again to check for those links. I think also another point that they raised that was so fabulous was Prince Harry talking about people online standing up to hate and to misinformation. And I think that is so admirable as well. And something else he said was that talked about challenging many of these platforms to try and think about how being compassionate can also be great for their business models. And they championed positivity online, which I think so many people would benefit from. So I'm telling you, this was a great conversation. I loved listening to so many of their points. And one more thing that was stated was trying to figure out the source of, a tweet, and not just taking it at face value and digging beyond, see whether it was propaganda or maybe it was hate speech. That was also a very fabulous point as well. So this was just a great conversation all around, lighthearted, and it was good to see the Duke and Duchess of Sussex relaxed and happy once again, in their house in Montecito. They're just in this positive atmosphere that they are talking about here, and you can see that they too have benefited from a positive environment. And they did mention as well how heartened they are to see that people all over the world who are able to voice and stand up for truth online. So that was a great point as well. So once again, great conversation all around. Thank you all for watching this quick update. I love you all so very much. Thank you for those of you, by the way, who have chosen to subscribe and share the videos and comment. I do read your comments and I love you all so very much. Thank you to all my Patreon supporters. Thank you for choosing to support my channel. I love you all and have a fantastic day wherever you are. And I will catch you in the next one. Have a blessed one.